Hey Facebook peeps, it's Misty. How are you? I wanted to share some thoughts with you this evening regarding taxes and finances and financial wealth, and have a discussion on how you handle things when you end up filing your taxes and end up owing more than you anticipated. What now? Today I filed my business taxes for 2018, and the numbers are a little bit more than I anticipated having to owe for 2018. And I want to talk to you about how do you work through those feelings that come up when you owe money that you don't have an anticipated plan for. When you maybe are in my shoes where I don't have any savings right now. I spent my savings to buy my Corvette and to buy this second house, and I'm starting over, building my savings back up. What do you do when you end up filing your taxes and owing a lot more than you anticipated? How do you work through those feelings? Do you shut down? Do you get angry? Do you get depressed? What happens? My computer's... Let me get off my Facebook. It's reverberating back to me. Sorry about that, guys. But what I want to do is share some thoughts with you, because we all have financial situations, and there's at times in your life you're going to make more money than others. And there's times in your life that you're going to have expenses show up in your world that you're not prepared for. How do you handle it? How do you deal with those emotions when life sucks the air out of you, punches you in the gut, causes you to stop and reflect and wonder how you're going to come up with the money to pay for those things that you need, right? Maybe you go into a mode where you stuff your feelings with food and you eat your feelings out with food instead of processing the emotions. Maybe you drink alcohol. Maybe you go to sleep, check out of the world, pull the covers up over your head. Maybe you decide you're going to take the day off and go be lazy or have fun or do something and not do work. What is your escape method? Or do you face the pain? Do you face the emotion? Do you face the energy and figure out how to embrace it and let that pain point become your power point? That's my question for you tonight. I filed my business taxes today for 2018, and as of things, the way they stand right now, I'm going to owe $11,800. I don't have the money. I don't have the money in savings. I have IRAs, I have 401ks, I have simple plans. I have quite a bit of money stacked up. I wish I knew the number, because I would share it with you, because you guys know that I'm very open and honest about my financial situation, because all of us feel that in order to create the life that we want, that you have to have a lot of money to be able to do that. And I want you to know that it doesn't matter how much money you have, it's what you do with it, and it matters how you purpose your goals. You can make a little or you can make a lot. I have clients that make a little, I have clients that make a lot. But their plan for their finances comes from the fact of what they do with their money. If you have a lot of money, you're going to have a lot of bills. If you have a little money, you may have little bills. It's the amount of money you make is not going to determine your financial success. It actually is how you plan your money, what you do with your money, what your goals are. So I'm sharing with you today that it is easy when you get in a situation where you do not have the financial resources to pay something that you're going to owe, to shut down and to get discouraged, right? It's easy to eat your feelings and eat those emotions and to stuff them inside and not deal with the energy that comes up with a disappointment of something that you didn't plan, right? Something that a number of $11,800, like for me, sucks the air out of my lungs, right? Like, it's a lot of money, right? So for you, are you willing to face your fear? Are you willing to face those emotions that come up? Are you willing to go inside and ask what it is you're really trying to create? Are you willing to remember that you can create the life that you want, and that God is with you and He has a plan for your life, and that the situation you're in right now is not something that He is ignorant to, like He's aware of, right? Do you believe that you will be provided for and taken care of? Do you believe that with faith that your needs will be met? Or are you living in doubt, scarcity mindset, frustrated? Do you bless your bills? Do you thank them for the purpose that they have in your life? Or do you curse them? Are you grateful the fact that you owe taxes, because that means that you made money, right? It's all in our perception and how we look at things. We can either look at things as being a curse or they can be a blessing. They can either work for us or against us, but our mindset is actually what changes that. Our mindset is what actually fuels the energy that we see show up in our lives. So my question to you is, what would you do if you were in a position when you filed your taxes and you find out that you're going to owe more than you expected you were going to owe? I normally owe as a business owner because I structure it that way where I owe a bit. I would rather owe the IRS than the IRS owe me, because if they should close and go into a dormant position like they did before and not reopen, you're not going to see that money back, right? And I can make my money work for me and put it in an investment fund or savings account throughout the year versus them pay me back. And the IRS does not pay you back with interest, right? If you don't pay enough, and you'll pay whatever you owe with interest, that's the way it works. But they don't pay you back if you overpay. So I structure mine where I always owe. That's my goal, is to owe taxes. Number one, it means I made money. Number two, it means my money's working for me. But what happens with like this situation I'm in today where I filed my business taxes and I'm going to owe more than I anticipated? I could beat myself up. I could be frustrated. I could be angry, or I can process through the emotions and remember that I can choose to have gratitude in this situation. I can choose to find the blessing and use that to fuel a plan of what I'm going to do next with my life and my business and earn my money, and what I'm going to cut out of my life so that I can pay this expense now that I have, right? So my thoughts to you tonight are, what do you do when life brings tough situations to you? How do you handle them? Do you face the emotion with courage, or do you fight the situation and run from it? What's your response? Do you fight, or do you give in? What do you do? How do you let it fuel your life and create energy for you? So somebody's asking a question, how much of a cushion do you give yourself in business? That depends. When I first started out being in business in 2004, I didn't have much of a cushion. But as I got going, my goal is to initially start with a 30-day cushion of expenses. So however much your monthly expenses are, do a full 30 days of expenses, and then build it from there. Get to a point that you have 60 days, 90 days, and then a year's worth of cushion. That's what I recommend. But you start with 30 days because, especially when you're in business, depending on how long of a pay cycle you have of your clients paying you, you're going to be floating payroll and all the expenses associated with your business until your clients pay you. Unless your clients prepay you, then you're in a different position and you're going to have to budget and set the money that you bring in aside to pay for your expenses before they're actually incurred. The reason I owe money is because I made a change of how much I invested. So to answer your question, Mark, is how much I contributed in my quarterly estimated tax payments to the IRS. I made an adjustment of that halfway through the year, and I contributed a lot less because of my client filing bankruptcy in the situation where I had several clients owing me money. I chose to keep more of it in my pocket instead of putting what I normally would of the percentage that I do. So I adjusted what I normally contribute to be a lot less, and that's why I owe a lot more right now. On top of the fact that I bought a home and I sold a vehicle, there's other elements besides just being a business owner that played into this. And all those things contributed to what I actually was able to deduct as an adjustment and a write-off. So yes, today I filed my taxes and I'm sitting here with a large amount of money that I'm going to owe the IRS, and I'm working through my own feelings of what that feels like and what I want to create in my life, and setting a goal and making a plan and putting a purpose to it, and not letting it shut me down, but letting it drive me further in my financial goals so that I'm driving and creating the life that I want. So your perception on whether this is a blessing or a curse is up to you. And I want to encourage you to look at your bills and look at taxes as a benefit and not as a curse. So thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you again soon. Go be courageous, be generous, be loving.